You ever get that weird feeling when you've been scrolling for hours and suddenly everything starts to feel the same? News, memes, someone's breakup story, a war, an ad for skincare, all blending together until your brain just stops reacting? That's not just fatigue. That's what Albert Camus called the absurd, that gut-deep dissonance between your need for meaning and the universe's refusal to give you one. You want life to make sense. Your phone promises it will, if you just keep scrolling long enough. But what you find instead is silence. Camus didn't invent absurdity. He just had the courage to name it. It's that moment when you realize the rules you've been playing by, grades, success, followers, purpose, are all human inventions stacked on top of a universe that doesn't care. You can't escape it. You can distract yourself through your phone, your ambition, your aesthetic. But the absurd always waits for you in the quiet moments, like 2 a.m., when the screen goes black and you see your reflection staring back. You've got everything: connection, entertainment, validation, and still, this feeling of nothingness seeps in. That's the absurd knocking. Camus' The Stranger isn't a story about a murderer. It's about what happens when someone finally stops pretending life makes sense. Massault doesn't cry at his mother's funeral. He doesn't pretend to care about social expectations. And when he kills a man for no clear reason, it's not because he's evil. It's because the world itself is indifferent, and for once, he's honest about it. And here's what's wild. When he's sentenced to death, that's the first time Massault truly feels alive. Because facing death strips away all the illusions, morality, reputation, performance, and forces him to see life as it is. That clarity, that's what Camus called freedom inside the absurd. Now fast forward to us, the generation of hyperconnection. We've built a world where every thought, emotion, and impulse is broadcast. And yet, somehow, we've never felt more isolated. The absurd is no longer a philosophical problem, it's an algorithmic one. Your feed promises meaning. Every swipe says, here's the next thing that matters. But the more you consume, the less you feel. Because meaning, real meaning, isn't downloadable. Camus would look at our phones and laugh. Not cruelly, but knowingly. He'd say, you've built an infinite scroll to run away from silence. But the silence, that's where truth lives. Camus didn't tell us to escape the absurd. He said to revolt against it. Not by destroying it, but by living in full awareness of it. To revolt means, you post, but you know it won't fill the void. You chase success, but you don't worship it. You love, knowing it won't last forever. You live, fully, in the face of a meaningless world. Because the moment you stop demanding the universe to explain itself, you become free to create your own meaning. That's the rebellion. Not nihilism, not despair, but conscious defiance. Camus called this the revolt of the human spirit. So what does that look like for us right now in the world of content creation, filters, and endless performance? It means posting with purpose, not just to fill the feed. It means looking at your own reflection and not needing an audience to validate it. It means feeling the absurd, that deep ache of meaninglessness, and not running from it. Instead, you turn it into art, into thought, into laughter, into life. Camus said, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. That's you, pushing your rock, your job, your content, your relationships, up the hill every day knowing it'll roll down again. But you smile anyway, because the meaning isn't in reaching the top. It's in the pushing. So next time you're doom scrolling and that weird emptiness hits, don't panic. That's not depression talking. That's philosophy whispering, the world doesn't owe you meaning, but you can still make it beautiful. The absurd isn't something to fix. It's something to live through. So live, even when it doesn't make sense, especially when it doesn't.